Proverbs 17, verses 27 and 28. The one who has knowledge uses words with restraint, and whoever has understanding is even-tempered. Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues. The restraint with which one uses their words is a litmus test for the presence of wisdom and knowledge. Another confirmation is the even-temperedness of their response. These are good keys to focus on, both for thoughtfully responding to others and using it as a discernment tool for how others speak as well. There's a quote that's been attributed to many people, but someone once said, "Better to keep silent and let everyone think you're a fool than open your mouth and remove all doubt." I've definitely been guilty of doing the exact opposite and confirming my foolishness to others many times. Using our words with restraint is one of the hardest things to do, but it's one of the most important skills to master if we are to walk in wisdom. Furthermore, in addition to thinking about how we respond, we prove our level of maturity with the even-temperedness of our response. Sometimes we all like to respond in a very dramatic fashion, but it doesn't always make us someone others feel comfortable with. We can practically practice restraint by starting with boundaries. As with any discipline, you don't start with mastery, you start at the beginning. That means we need to thoughtfully define what restraint is going to look like at first and achieve that. One of my favorite quotes is, "You eat an elephant one bite at a time." This is definitely a large elephant to try and eat at once, so a gradual approach is encouraged. Figure out your biggest trigger situations and specifically address those first. Decide how you're going to speak in those situations. Keep them in mind. Rehearse them in your head. And when the time is right, you will know what to do in that specific situation. Add more like that over time for a cumulative effect. Secondly, restraint means sometimes not saying anything. Culture does not necessarily like silence, but there are times when we must keep silent, especially in situations where things have gotten to be emotionally heated. There comes a point of diminishing returns where speaking actually creates more problems than it fixes. Once again, I will own that. I try to talk my way out of problems a lot of the time, and it never works. Ever. Sometimes you have to know when to shut your mouth. Finally, restraint means being self-aware about your temperament. So much of the English language has to do with tone and emotion. You can make words have any connotation you want by changing your facial expressions, your tone, and your inflection. Well, it creates an incredibly powerful dynamic language to communicate with, but it also can lead to easy misinterpretation if we're not careful with the even-temperedness of our replies. Reject the tendency to use hyperbole. Reject the tendency to use drama to your advantage.